Hi, my name is Ani, and in 2020, my friend Greyhat and I made a song called Memories of Martina. This whole journey began on September 19th, 2017, when I made this crappy little idea. It only consisted of 6 layers, all of which were made using these synths. I didn't like this very much, so I tried throwing it in GRM Freeze. GRM Freeze is a granular sampler that allows you to chop up sounds. Here's what I did with it. A couple of days later, I took these chops and developed them into another idea. Here are the chops, just EQ'd to remove the low end, and beefed up in the low mids just a tad. These are taken from another section of the GRM Freeze data. Same audio, just reversed and delayed. A synth I made using a Juno 6 emulator, a sampled string VST, and the bass made using an electric piano plugin and a bit of EQ. A background synth to harmonize with the other elements, made using a single oscillator and a Herbie wave. And lastly, some bass. Some kicks to start out the drums. There's a lot of layers here, so I'm just gonna go rapid fire. Here's another section I made, starting with some of the GRM Freeze data. Like the earlier sample data, the low end is EQ'd out so I can add a bass later. And I duplicated it, pitched it up, and added a tremolo. And here's the bass. It's the same sound as the last section. I merged all of the drum tracks together, and then added some delay, panning, and reverb. And nothing happened for a long time. I kinda hit a dead end. But almost 3 years later, I came back to the idea unexpectedly. Here's some DI guitar with tape delay and autotune on it. Since the autotune has a really low repitch speed, it hunts and wavers a little bit when trying to find a note. The bass is pitched up and the low end is cut out just for this section, so that it stands out a little bit more in the next section. By combining what I made in 2017 with what I made in 2020, I was able to reach a solid base to work off of. Then, I sent the song to my friend Mike.
Hey y'all, my name is Mike. I make music as Greyhat. Ani and I are always passing music back and forth. He sent me a tune he was working on. That song would eventually become Memories of Martina. I was instantly so inspired by the instrumental. After listening to it more, this vocal melody kind of came more and more clear into my head, so I recorded a scratch version of it. The process of recording the vocal was pretty simple. I have a standard effect rack I put on all my vocals that consists of a chorus, a short filter delay to give some springiness, some heavy compression, and a low pass filter that opens up a bit in response to the vocal signal. I also put a ping pong delay, synced to quarter notes. And then with the additional layers of vocals, I just continued to play with this back and forth feeling that the ping pong delay offered. Later on, we talked about what the lyrics should be. I tend to connect more with vocal melodies than what the person is actually saying. We landed on some lyrics that we felt pretty good about, and I recorded a few takes, but none of them had the same impact that the scratch vocals had. Actually, what you hear on the final song is literally the first take that I recorded.
Mike also made a lot for the outro. He rechopped the sample that I had sent of the GRM data, added some piano. He also expanded on the vocals from the previous section. And with that, 3 years after it started, the song was finally complete.